people that are watching and don't know, maybe I should get closer to the mic. Don't know Tosan. Go on, label yourself for people.
I'm Tosan, a woman. I went to school with Rueben.
Yeah.
I go to Princeton University right now. Play on the basketball team there. So
yeah. So
that's
already breaking the third wall. But anyway, yeah. So me and you went to school together, and now you've like succeeded in the world of basketball. But
getting there.
we were just saying yesterday that we basically I'm pretty sure I was playing basketball like just as early as you, but unfortunately that didn't really do anything for me. No. So like what like separated you from everybody else playing basketball at such like an early age?
I don't know. I guess just I grew like a lot. Like I was taller than people like in the last couple of years, which helped a lot. Like definitely helped my confidence too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I used to kind of I was like a similar height to everyone else, so I was like playing as like a guard, I guess, and then me growing tall, I didn't really lose those skills. So
yeah. I remember. So when did you actually start playing for a team? Because I swear you and your dad just used to train. So
yeah, I started when I was like 14. Yeah, no, that's my idol.
Yeah.
No, he really helped me a lot. But I mean, I started like 14. I think we were in year 9 when we started the school team and stuff.
Yeah.
So
what about Graham?
back.
Does he get any of the credit?
Yeah, he took me into the Griffins, so that was my first team.
Yeah.
I said you used to play there when you were younger.
Griffins is like a team in Newcastle. I don't know what type of league. It's like
local league.
It's like a local league, isn't it? Yeah. And Graham's this like coach. He's got a loud voice. Like he's got a big voice for a big guy, but it works. And he's a good trainer. But yeah, so you played for the Griffins, and you know what happened then. So what's the next step?
So from the first school's competition, Graham spoke to me, and I ended up playing for the Griffins. So that was like my first step into basketball.
He noticed you through school?
Yeah, that's that.
Shit.
Yeah, didn't know.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I started out at Griffins. That was like mid-season by the time I joined anyway. So I just finished the season with them, and then like before I knew it, I was like at Northeast Trials, and like I played for the Eagles next year. It all just happened really quickly, and like I didn't really know what was going. Like at the time, I was like,
did you have to try much, or was it just like you just turned up and you played, and then you were just
I obviously like I was trying obviously, but at the time it wasn't like this is what I want to do. Like I wasn't really working towards it necessarily, so it was more like I'm here because I enjoy it, so I'm gonna just play hard and like do what I enjoy. So I guess just over time, like my love for the game grew, and here I am now.
Yeah. What was like? I swear with basketball, because obviously we've got football in the UK, which is like the main sport, and obviously like rugby if you're in private school, whatever. And then there's like basketball. So it's like I don't know how it could be. Yeah. So was there kind of like a lack of talent in the leagues? So like cause I swear there's literally some people that turn up to basketball club because they're shit at everything else, and like some people actually want to play. Do you know what I mean? So I think people that are good actually like shine through it at an early age, and maybe I was one of the people that was just shit at everything else.
Nah, don't do yourself like that. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's definitely a gap, like basketball in the UK and everywhere else. It is closing, though, definitely closing. Like some of the kids growing up now, like. I see a post on Instagram like every other day. There's like a 6'7" kid dunking. And he's like 50, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's definitely a gap. I remember like when I first started playing for the Eagles, like I just used that time. I just learned how to like score. I guess like I would like score, but we would end up losing the game by like 30. Like we get blown out like every game. So, like, I wasn't really learning how to win then, but, like, I was just finding my beat with basketball and then how to put the ball in the hoop and stuff, so...
Yeah. I was going to say, what's the difference between learning how to score and learning how to win?
Yeah, huge difference, and I didn't know that at an early age. Yeah. No, a huge difference. Like, especially now, last year, like, I learned so much about winning. Like, it's literally the little things, like, that swing, like, make a game swing, make the momentum swing. Like, it's why, like, so many coaches are just, like, so zoning on the details all the time. And you don't really, I didn't understand that growing up. I was just like, you just need to score, you need to play defense. But no, there's so much more that goes into the game.
Are the coaches now, or the ones that you train with, just a lot more conscious of that? Is that like the things that they try and stress?
100%. Like, because at this level, like everyone can play. Do you know what I mean? So it's like your team's good, my team's good. What's the difference? Like, how are we gonna get the win?
Do they become like a bigger part of the team at a higher level? Do you think
the coaches?
Yeah. So can they basically win or lose a game? For you,
to an extent, I wouldn't say they can win or lose. Like, I guess, like, sometimes, like, tactics wise, like, that can make or break a game. Like, this year, I'll give you an example. I don't know, people like, viewers might not understand really what I'm talking about, but so we played against Penn this year.
Which is just like the full university name, what's it
called? UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, something like that.
Yeah, okay,
so another Ivy League, and we played them the first 2 games of the year in conference, and we like switched our entire defense to like play them. Like, goes against like rules that we normally do, so we had to just drill that in for weeks before we played them, and like we came out with 2 wins, and it was huge. But like, it's just, and then as soon as the second game finished, we went back to like our more normal style of defense, and you kind of adjust each game. And huge like credit to the coaches, they study film for hours. Like, that's what they do, and what they think the best strategy is for us to win. But at the end of the day, though, like, it's us on the floor, so you use as much like guidance as the coach is there, but it's you that has to do it. So yeah.
Wait 2 seconds, mate. I'm just gonna get this fucking t-shirt.
Switch off, ready to switch you.
Job in jungle meat.
That's a. I don't know. That's
easy kind of.
I'll show you.
It's just a
bit
kit.
Jadwin Jungle. They have an Instagram account out. It's like our fan, like a.
Is this the one that
fan
like you throw to the crowd? Because basically, when I went over to visit Tosan in January, literally as COVID started, like literally
you left, COVID came.
Yeah. I remember being in New York and like the coronavirus in Wuhan or wherever it started, it was like being announced on the news. And even then I was like, oh shit, maybe I should get like one of those masks when I'm like on the plane. And I was like thinking I was like ahead of the game.
I remember.
I went to the pharmacy and they were like, oh yeah, we've sold out. And I should have seen that as a sign to like maybe get involved.
I remember you were talking about getting a mask. I was like, what? What are you getting a mask for? Like, obviously no one really understood what was going on at the time, but yeah.
Right then. Well, yeah. See, it's hard to. I don't know. Like, me and Tosan have just come off a night out last night, so like I'm partly hungover, and I thought I was gonna do a lot more prep for like the podcast, but you know.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's difficult for you. We already know each other, like growing up with Rueben, so.
Yeah. No, but we've been like obviously catching up.
Yeah.
And we were just playing a bit of frisbee before and throwing around American football. And we just like talked about mindset before, which I thought was quite like this tree's dying before us. But that was quite a like interesting conversation because I'm all here for like a bit of mindset chat, you know what I mean? But we were just saying how in the UK, like Tosan's, like not many people might dream big, but then they have the tendency to just like forget and then not pursue.
Yeah.
But as you can, there's a plane going by. Yeah, like you had, I don't know when like the dream like became a solid thing in your mind, but when did it solidify, and then when were you just like pursuing it, or was like, because when did the America thing even come up? Like, did you even have that in your mind?
Yeah, no. So that was super late as well. So to be honest, I didn't have like, so my goal now is not what my goal was a year ago, and it wasn't what my goal was a year before that, but like, I always like have a drive in me to do what I set myself out to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's been constant, but my goals have changed. So
Tosan's a academic, like an athlete. Like even in school, I'm like you're just a clever lad, aren't you? Like so, I feel like you've got like a good like ability to set your mind on something and like actually achieve it.
I mean, I think that's just important though. That's how I stay focused and stay motivated now. Is I just connect to my like long-term goal each time I'm doing a workout, or each time, you know what I mean. Like I'm like, I don't really want to do this, but like I feel like you connect to your long-term goal. Like it definitely helps motivate you, and it's like what's the reason you're doing it all at the end of the day.
Do you know what? Like I think long-term, like thinking in the long term is actually the best thing, because if it's like short-term, like I've almost started to enjoy like building up like my like fundamentals for like not my fundamentals, but like starting the long term, like starting my foundations, like going for like the long term type of goals. But yeah,
I feel like that's super important, but also not to just focus on it too much, because it becomes like unattainable if you don't have goals like in between the meantime to help reach that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
So life in America is like Tosan's now living the like
Newcastle.
Literally, from Newcastle, the tune, to something out of American Pie. Not American. Is it American Pie? What's that film? It's like college. I don't know. You like everyone knows what I'm talking about. Like American college, frat parties, all that. And especially at Princeton, it's like it doesn't get more American university than Princeton. So, like, how's that been? Anybody that you kind of like mention who's like kind of made your time in Princeton better? Do you know what I mean? Like teammates, friends. I met Ibra and Jalen, like a couple of your teammates. Yeah, good guys.
It's crazy. Like, I can't really compare it. Like, I obviously haven't been to, like, I haven't studied at a UK university, so I can't really compare it quite. But it's just very different. The whole thing, like it almost is. Some aspects are like stuff out of a movie. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of walk out and you're seeing like beer pong tables and the lawns, like parties and stuff. But it was super cool. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, people that made it special, like my teammates, literally, like I spend every day with them. Like, we practice every day, and then just them. Like, it's like a family. Like, Princeton basketball is like a family. Like, we have like our alumni as well. Like, we're super close with our alumni. Like, we speak to them over Zoom and stuff, and like that's just been
alumni
a big time.
Being Michelle Obama. Pretty sure she went to Princeton.
She did.
Just a few,
Yeah, so we've spoken to her brother a couple of times, because
that was sick.
He used to play basketball at Princeton. So just really good connections. Through our head coach especially, he used to play too, so he's very like within like our community, and I'm loving it.
You sent me a photo of the Zoom call. Also, I'm conscious that we didn't actually explain how you got to like. But anyway, so you sent me a picture of like the Zoom call with Michelle Obama's brother. I was just like, Leeds Uni needs to step its game up. But cause I actually think that's the best way to learn, is like through conversation with like interesting people. Like going over some like really boring course in uni, it's like, it can get tedious, but I think that's really like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's refreshing, and like it, I don't know, it definitely sparks your interest. But so like a fast track for anybody who's wondering, or not a fast track, but like a step by step. So even like the university process, did you even apply for UK universities? How did you get to an American uni? Like, what happened?
So I did apply to UK because basically, like I said earlier, like my decision to go was kind of late. And then at the time, like it wasn't like my goals were different. Like I was kind of like, let me see, let me try, and then hopefully I'll have options and make a decision. So I applied for UK universities not knowing whether I was for sure wanting to go. But
which ones did you apply to?
UCL, Nottingham, I think, Bristol,
Did you look at sports? I swear none of them are actually really.
To be honest, like
sporty.
I had it in mind. So if I stayed in the UK, I think basketball would be a less significant part of my life.
Yeah, definitely, probably.
And so I kind of had in mind like UCL, like that's obviously in London. So there's quite a few teams high level you can play in London. And then Bristol have a BBL team too, and like a Division 2 team as well. So I was kind of had that in mind. Like I obviously still wanted to play, but it wouldn't have been as big a deal as it is now.
Yeah.
I applied. So I got my coach, and we kind of sat down and was like, if I want to go, where do I want to go? So I looked at Ivy Leagues. I looked
in
at
America.
Yeah.
So like you sat down with him and like explored the idea.
Yeah.
Did he suggest it, or did you know?
He's kind of he kind of. So, like, if you're a basketball player in the UK, you want to go to America. Mm-hmm. But this wasn't me. Like, this is in general. And I was like, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to go. Like, I don't know if I want to play pro, so why am I going? That kind of thing. So, everyone, my teammates, my GB teammates are kind of on my back, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why aren't you? What's happening?
Did they all have, like, lined up?
They didn't have lined up necessarily, but it was the goal. Mm-hmm. A couple of them had already started talking to but like different universities, blah blah blah. And
you're like, in terms of their ability, were you like, was it pretty level playing field, or were you like excelling at that point?
There was, I wasn't necessarily excelling amongst my GB teammates. Yeah. I feel like we were all just like, a good team. We were a good team. So there were the guys who stood out a bit more.
But for you not to kind of even explore it, they must have been like, mate, like
they were on my case. They were on my case. So like I said, we sat down with my coach, looked at places. He sent out some emails, but also that playing for GB really helped, like them to see me and put me on a platform.
Yeah. So was there scouts there?
There are. Most of the time, if they have someone they want to watch in mind. Mm-hmm. So like my second year playing for GB was after I'd already started talking to Princeton, and I think I might have committed already, and I was pretty sure I wanted to go there. And so he came out. He came out just to watch, like in Greece.
You and your coach, you said, sat down and were like, right, where do you fancy going? Did you like think about Ivy League?
Yeah.
And then like not Ivy League.
So so you, like you said, I'm quite academic. So I was like, for me to go, I'm gonna have to get both, like school and basketball. And like the best case scenario is to not sacrifice either. If I stay in the UK, I feel like I'd be sacrificing basketball.
But just for people that don't kind of maybe don't understand Ivy League or haven't really heard about it too much, like it's like Oxbridge standard. Like realistically, like when I try to compare it, and even in my head, like sometimes it exceeds Oxbridge, but like in terms of competitiveness, like I'm pretty sure it's like every like not middle America, but like kind of perfect American family, like their goal is to send their kid to like one of these schools. So it's pretty challenging to get into. Did you think about that when you were like, okay, might want to go to Princeton? Was it like, it's not really something that it's just like, oh yeah, I might just give it a bash? Like, did you see it as like,
like at that time I had no idea how realistic any of this was. Mm-hmm. All I had was my coaches and my teammates telling me, you're good enough to play here, you're good enough to play here. So I was for the academic side, it was the Ivies, and then a couple others like Stanford who are not an Ivy League, but they're of that caliber.
Where's Stanford? It's
California.
And I remember, because didn't you get like an offer later?
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about like how you potentially could live in California, and obviously I was like, that sounds good.
It was a weird one. So I reached out to them at a similar time as I did with other places, and they kind of came back and were like, we're good, like we filled up your position, because like I said, my whole thing was kind of late, so they were like, we've filled up like our spots basically. I was a bit like, oh
yeah, shit,
but yeah, whatever, it is what it is. And then ended up progressing with Princeton, committed to Princeton, was really happy, like so glad like it turned out how it did. And then Stanford then like messaged my coach like, oh, like we want to come to Newcastle, watch you, kind of thing, like kind of coming back. And at that point I was like, it's a bit late. Like,
yeah.
I'm happy at Princeton. Like, I'm very glad I've committed here. Like, this is where I want to go. So yeah, that was that situation. And yeah, living in California at the start, I was like, ooh, I want to do that.
Yeah,
but nah,
right, like neighbouring New York isn't the worst thing in the world, is it?
No.
Yeah, so obviously Ivy League is like more academic, and you've got what's it even called? Like the normal league of university over there. Do you know like the non Ivy League?
Non-Ivy.
And then what is it?
Okay,
so but yeah,
just
so like
just regular. Yeah.
Is their athletics can sometimes be higher, can't they? Like in terms
Yeah,
of ability.
so I guess on paper like they should be, because so essentially how it works is there's a lot of rules around the Ivy League because it's so competitive anyway. To like it kind of limits the athletic influence that they can have on recruiting a player.
Yeah.
So normal universities, I think every other conference can offer like full athletics scholarships.
Yeah.
But Ivy League do it a bit different and whatever because
you have
the
to
competition.
reach like a certain academic level, don't you?
You do, yeah. But it's also just like I don't really know too much, like the reasoning in and out, but I think the thought is like it's so competitive academically, so you don't need to add this kind of, you know what I mean. So I've lost my train of thought, but yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, mate, we can always wrap it up because I'm starting to get fucking cold, and I think Tosan's got to train home in like an hour.
Out of here.
Out of here. But yeah, mate, I appreciate you being the first guest on this new podcast.
Of course.
To be fair, some of my friends are the reason like I've even started this because I bought a microphone just for some other kind of online stuff, and they were like, "Oh, you're starting a podcast? And I was like, actually, sounds like a good idea.
He's the guy. You're the man to do it, bro. Like, so, you have all these visions, and everyone better tune in.
Yeah, mate, appreciate it.
For the future ones too, I'll be pushing it, bro.
Yeah, right. Thanks a lot, mate. Right, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Sweet.